People who say all religions teach same thing do not know anything about the religions. If I scope in the major world religions, there are so many theories, so many ideologies, and so many concepts which directly contradict with each other. Food, origin, reincarnation, afterlife, every religion has a different take with some similarities here or there. But one actual common thread which tie up all the religions is the focus on prayers. So in this video, we will know about what prayers are, some major praying methods, a little bit of science, a little bit of philosophy, and most importantly, despite your belief in God or not, why doing prayers is quintessential in our lives. Thousands of years have passed. Humanity is divided like crazy, yet one unifying thing across the whole majority is an act to pray. To pray is the most unique, obligatory, and the most important function in any of the religion. According to any faith, prayer forms a connection from the human or the soul to the ultimate creator. If we look at the major of the world religions, Christians often observe a Shabbat or worship on the Sundays of every week. They choose to go to church or offer prayers at home. In Hinduism, prayers, pratna or arti, if I may say, are usually conducted with schedule in morning and evening. However, individual prayers can go on whole day. In Buddhism, meditation serves a very important role in which mantras are recited using beads or mala. This is kind of similar which also happens in Hinduism in many instances. Jews practice their day of prayer each week as Shabbat, which runs from Friday at sundown to Saturday at sundown. Muslims offer salat or prayers 5 times a day, which is one of the known pillar of the Islam and is very, very disciplined. So if you decipher all of this, there are two basic constructs of all these prayers. One is out there construct and one is in here construct. If you focus the Abrahamic religions, Islam, Christianity and Judaism, they follow out there construct. There will be a community, there will be masses, there will be group prayers in which they are praying to God, to Almighty all together, right? However, if you look at the Eastern religions, you will observe the more focus is in your heart, in your body, in your soul, that God lives or there is a part of God in us. Now, this is not even fixed, because if you look at the sub-products of these religions, like for example in Islam, the concept of Sufism again goes back and touches the in-here construct of the prayers. So in a nutshell, all the religions, and no matter what kind of prayer anybody is doing, whether they are doing together in masses in a community, or it can be a personal prayer inside your heart, all these prayers, the method is kind of modeled. So your prayers can be for yourself, your family members, or it can also be for your community and even country. There might be a direction in every religion that this is the way you follow, but it kind of changes and become personal. So after understanding what prayers are and how they are constructed, now we are going to understand why to pray. For a moment, forget all religions, all gods, all beliefs, all traditions, and look around. When a person focuses his or her attention on something, this activity fires thousands of neurons simultaneously at the same frequency, generating a wave at a rate closer to 10 to 100 cycles per second. Now the waves generated are quite feeble, but try to understand from this perspective. With each focus, with each attention span, your thoughts become a message and is emitted in form of frequency in this galaxy. I'm not sure if you're aware or not. Every living being, every living creature emits frequencies, emit waves. Human bodies, plants, trees, birds, animals, every one of them and consider nature as all, air, mountains, oceans, carrying those frequencies. Try to feel it, no matter how tiny or small your frequency might be, but you are connected to nature. Thus, when you pray, you focus and you put your all attention into it, you elevate your senses, your consciousness, and your experience to the world. All of this connection is external. Let's talk about what happens internally. You come out of your periphery, your pride, your hate, and so many negative feelings when you ask. And when you ask, you accept that there is something beyond this materialistic physical world. And I'm not resting the case of existence of Shiva or God or Allah or Jesus or any of the deity. No, I'm talking what is inside you, your soul. We exactly don't even know what this body and this mind is exactly capable of. So the prayer cuts you from all this negativity and brings you in the form of being, that you exist, that you are asking from someone who is more capable. It doesn't mean that that person is a god. That person can be you, yourself, your own consciousness. And at times when you delve so inside that your body trembles, your tears flows down, you simply go numb, and the energy with which you react is not possible without prayer or attention or meditation. Whatever you say, I like to call it pause and connect. So friends, no matter which religion you belong to, no matter what are your beliefs, doesn't matter what your traditions or customs are, do take some time out in whichever way it pleases you, but pray, meditate, or simply connect with yourself, with this nature, with Almighty if you want, and most importantly, feel it. My sincere apologies if I got any of the fact or pronunciation wrong. If you agree with my thoughts, please like and share this with your friends and family. Peace.